All right, hello everyone. So we're gonna do a sketchbook tour. This is my first sketchbook tour on here, so be nice. Um, so this is an old sketchbook. I've had this since 5.5 years ago or so. I bought this from Michael's, if you're interested. Um, Denick. They have really good quality paper, really good thick paper. So I chose to them showcase this because it actually has you can see development. You can see 5 years of development. I started the sketchbook 5 years ago, and I kind of did it for studies for comic book ideas that I was making, that I'm still making actually, because I ignored the project for a while. But anyway, I only filled half of it, and I picked this up around 2 or 3 months ago, and I finished the book. So it's you get to see 5 years worth of development in it, and I'm gonna start with the new stuff because it's better, and then I'll show you kind of how it started, and I have the stuff bookmarked. So everything from here back is 2017, and everything forward is 2022. This was a turning point for me because I started approaching sketching and drawing differently. I stopped thinking about lines, so I'm no longer drawing with the tip of the pencil. I'm drawing with the side, as if I'm as if I'm painting, not drawing. So I started thinking about drawing differently. It's not better, it's just a different way of doing things. And from this point on, what I'm doing is I'm actually letting my eye hand coordination surprise me. I'm not being too precious. Oftentimes I'm not even looking at the page, I'm looking at the picture I'm looking at, or the reference, and I'm caricaturizing. So I don't even know if I said that right, but I'm playing with form and shape, and I'm getting goofy with proportions just for the fun of it, and letting things surprise me and not correcting things too much. Um, so I'm also like starting to not erase and labor over things. I just draw all over again and try to attempt to redraw. And every time I do it, this is better. You're going to see two main common mistakes that I usually do here. I draw way too big, like in this case. And sometimes I go too dark too quickly and I'll build up the shading gradually. Um, Again, I drew this again, and I still think it was too big because I needed another figure. And in a couple of pages, you'll see the finished one. But this was attempt one, attempt two. And these are little thumbnails I was working on from a book I was reading, I think Great Expectations. When I read books, I often draw inside of them. So this was one of the drawings I did inside of the book. And I actually thought still looks better in the thumbnail than the finished one, which normally happens. So this was okay. So this was officially beginning to with this new technique that I'm using. You can already see I'm getting goofy with proportions. I'm trying to mix goofy, weird proportions, cartoonish proportions, with realistic rendering finishing. So I look at a person and look what makes them look unique, and exaggerate that. So Art Garfunkel here is all about length, and everything is tall and everything is long and everything is skinny and long, and this guy is a little squat, everything is rounder, everything is kind of squared off. Same two guys, you can see this is an album cover for Simon and Garfunkel, and I made Simon's face way too big, but I like it. Somebody actually pointed out to me that in the album cover, if you cover Simon's face, his hair looks like Art's mustache. And it does. It's funny. Anyway, so yeah, his jaw in the picture just seemed ginormous, so I just made that bigger. Um, Again, playing with shapes. This is a one I abandoned. It's very light. This is kind of how I usually started rendering the hands, and I thought to myself, well, maybe this might look better as a painting, and I took a picture of it and finished the painting on Procreate on my iPad. You can see the finished one on my Instagram page at Simply Lathe if you're interested. But again, remember those two things that I said drew too big? So I took another stab at it, and voila, it turned out really good. I really like the way this one came out. Um, I was especially pleased with the hands, the forearm. Everything looked nice, and I had finally enough room to put Simon in here. This was a performance from Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, um, and I don't know. This was a turning point. I really liked how this turned out, and I started experimenting with this approach more and more and more, and you'll see where it took me. This is Jimi Hendrix here. Again, exaggerating shapes, designing somebody, not looking at the actual picture and just going overboard. This one is fine. This one is just not a lot of thinking is involved. Make the head too big, make the rest of the body smaller. But this one had more, you know, I'm pointing everything back towards his face, like his fingers go here, his shoulders go here. I'm making the fingers a lot longer than they should. The guitar is a lot smaller. And obviously, I want your focus here. Even the background, like directional shading goes here. And that's where your eyes go. So, you're effective when you do that. Again, went too dark too quickly. See? Now I don't have a good control of the values, so I decided screw it. Nina Simone here came out good. Her hands are ginormous, but I love it. Normally her hands would be half this size, but it's fun. It's just fun. It gets wacky. I used to think no one is gonna take my art seriously, and no one does. But I thought I wasn't gonna take myself seriously unless I was doing everything super accurately. But I've noticed I'm having more fun here, and I'm prouder of myself for being able to accomplish this. Random pictures I find on the internet, random things that catch my attention, gives me an excuse to stare at a picture longer if I drew it. I don't think they came out successfully, but tried. This was while watching Game Time, I think, this HBO show about how the Lakers became the Lakers, and did a couple of sketches of magic. Again, there's a lot of me attempting to do things twice in the sketchbook. Random pictures I see around that interest me that I'm drawing. This was a phase of me kind of drawing a lot of Bedouin Arabs and playing with proportions again, because I don't want to. Sometimes accuracy bores me, so this top of his body is accurate. His legs are way too short. Same thing for the horse. His neck is short. His head is big. But it looks good. At least I think so. So it's fun. Not much to say here. Digging up very old black and white historical pictures and kind of interpreting them my way. Here I'm trying to work out the kinks of adding more than one thing in the drawing, one figure. I still think this is not as clear as I'd like it to be. You can't really tell when one body ends and the other begins a little bit. Maybe it's fine, I don't know. But, the whole idea was kind of this taxi, old school taxi service, a donkey pulled wagon or carriage or platform. I don't know what you call that. But, this man is just transporting these 6 women or whatever. More kind of desert-themed, desert-dwelling ideas. I honestly think I actually drew this guy's head too big for him to be proportionate, so I just made his body too small, and it worked out design-wise. I think Again, a couple of random pictures, unfinished ones. I tried to do this twice. Didn't really work out. I got Thomas Shelby here. Let me get the lights in. Actually, it's too close. Watching the last season of Peaky Blinders. Started drawing the characters, especially, what did I say, Thomas? I meant Arthur. Especially Arthur. Arthur is such a character. If you don't know the show, I mean, his face is just so much fun to look at. So I was just thinking about why he's interesting, and he's just, he has the narrowest, skinniest face, big, ginormous ears, thick mustache, and he's so skinny, he always seems like he's lost in his tent of clothes. So, got the big bow tie, make his shoulders really skinny, his neck is so skinny in this big collar, the hat is so big, the ears just look big because his head is too skinny. I just thought, it looks like him, but it's an exaggerated part. I like interpretation of his face. I don't know, what do you guys think? More Peaky Blinders. This is Alfie Solomon's Tom Hardy. This one came out more realistic. Again, I'm really seeing where my eye-hand coordination takes me. Half the time I'm just looking at the picture, not looking at the page until I'm done with one line, and then readjusting and going. And then kind of, again, side of the pencil. I'm not relying on line too much. I kind of add lines at the end, but that's Thomas Shelby here with another Tom Hardy. Thomas Shelby, the Shelby Company Limited. Again, couple of attempts. Was gonna finish this one, and I was hoping, like I used to do when I was starting out, like that, hey, if I detail this really well, no one's gonna notice that the structure is bad, but people can tell when you're polishing a turd. So, made sure that the structure was more accurate. And oftentimes it usually takes me like more than one try. Like the first attempt is just studying the face, and I'm not looking for accuracy. And then once I've figured out the face and then I can put it together a little bit better. Just notice I didn't finish the right side of his vest here. Lizzie Shelby, very kind of tall, long. Everything was about length with her, so I made the neck long, the face long. And I've drawn her a couple of times here, so this one is more boxy and it was more wide. This one did not turn out good, so I just used the sides to scribble. Here. Went for accuracy, drew too big, ran out of the room for the big hand. I wanted the hand to feel a lot bigger than her face. So, and I wanted the neck to be long, and I just ran out of room. So, did it again. Which happens to me a lot. We got Polly and another Arthur. Sorry, if you guys don't watch Peaky Blinders, none of this will make sense. So we're going to head to Stranger Things here. There we go. Everybody knows Stranger Things, right? This is the second season, I think, when they were all Ghostbusters. I think it came out all right. Vecna / Henry / 1, or Megamind Vecna. Big ginormous head, big hair. My only concern here is to get the eyes right. The eyes came out okay, so I just went explosive with the rest. And because I think this area came out okay, it sells the rest. We got Nancy Wheeler here, and oftentimes, again, I'm surprising myself with the shapes. Halfway through this, I did not think it looked like her. I still don't feel like it looks like her much, but there's something about her that people know who that is when they look at it. And I'm going with it. I'm just, with her, I noticed that there's a small chin, but the jaw is very wide. The chin comes out very small and round here from the nose all the way down. So that's kind of the shape I'm thinking about. So here, a little oval egg shape and then a box. We got Max being saved. If you know the scene, you know the scene. If only could. Steve, but a very weird, smushed version of Steve. People, this actually blew up on TikTok, and if you go on my TikTok and read the comments, they're hilarious. I feel like people were not aware that I was doing this on purpose, so they were making everybody was making fun of how bad that looked and how bad of an artist I was. But to me, it was hilarious because obviously I'm doing this on purpose, right? And those who followed the rest of my work knew I was exaggerating. I mean, but it's cool. I don't know. I like it. Dustin here is just a sketch, unfinished one. This also got a little bit of heat online for Mike because I actually drew this with a more realistic nose, and I figured there's nothing too goofy or cartoony about this, so I kind of made the nose bigger, thinking nothing of it. And a lot of people took offense online, and that was really not my intention. So I hope it doesn't offend anybody. This here is another kind of screen grab I took from one of the scenes where they discover the phone number that's not really a phone number, that really is kind of calls an internet number, calls a computer. Spoilers for the Obi-Wan show. When the Force Ghost of Qui-Gon, my favorite, best looking Jedi hands down, comes up. I really liked his kind of, how his eyebrows went up in the middle, so I kind of exaggerated that. I was always here, Obi-Wan. So I love big ears, so kind of did the big ear thing, and then hope there's not too much glare here, but Eddie, Hellfire Club, playing Dungeons and Dragons. And this was kind of a first attempt at Maya Hawke and her crush in Stranger Things, and I decided to go a little more cartoony with it when she was doing the peanut butter monstrosity at the end. We got a full-on Vecna here. I actually drew half of this on my channel. If you see the previous video, I think you'll see me working at this. I finished it off camera, but this is this was kind of a day in preparation of watching Love and Thunder. Did not like it, by the way, but that's another topic. And yeah, kind of this concludes this half. So if I go back real quick and show you the 2017 part of this book, you'll see how I used to approach things. So mostly from references to kind of study the subject matter that I'm going to be writing a story about. And I mean, it's not bad, but it's just a different approach. It's a different way of doing things. More line oriented, but still kind of exploring how I want to do things, and everything is coming out kind of plain. Not a lot of exaggerations here, not a lot of flair, not a lot of personality, I don't think. But, you know, just regular stuff. A lot of sword and sandal stuff, which remains to be one of my favorite subjects and genres. Trying to explore kind of how I want people to be clothed, how I want them to be designed. This is actually a nice composition. I painted some of this stuff, you know, took a picture of it, painted. This one has been painted. Um, this one here, actually, I turned into a card. Let me see if I have one around. I don't know if you can see that. There you go. So this is kind of a business card that I've had developed, and it all started from this sketch. So yeah, I mean, as you can see, this is kind of an interesting way to look at how things developed, and we're back here. So yeah, I hope you really like this. I definitely enjoyed sharing it. If you guys like this kind of stuff, I'll share more. Let me know, and maybe we'll fill a sketchbook together on here if you guys enjoy this. And if this gets some attention, maybe I can dig up older sketchbooks and sharing them with y'all. All right, thanks for joining me. Please subscribe. If you've made it this far, please hit the like button. Drop me a comment in there. I'm answering questions. And it'll help me out a lot and allows me to make more of this stuff. So give me a follow if you want. Give me a subscription, and ask me any questions if you're curious about something. All right, take care, guys.